Assalamualaikum and good morning, doctor. So right now I'm gonna present it to you my laptop, which is about the controller in the SDN. So basically, by default, the Mininet puts its default controller and connect to the controller at the local host 663, as you can see in this picture. And then when we want to call the reference controller, we can use this command sudo mn to create the topology. And then controller we specify as reference, so it will start the reference controller locally in the Mininet. So basically the controller is running on the same VM at the port of 6653, and then the controller the reference controller is listening for the open switch connection, and the switch 1 connect to this controller and receive forwarding instruction, and H1 and H2 are connected to the switch S1, as you can see in this diagram. And then in short, the reference controller as a simple SDN controller inside the Mininet to control the open flow switch and allow basic network communication testing. And then for the third is the open switch OVSC controller. So we can specify is OVSC in the command. And then the controller OVSC start to open vSwitch controller. And for the short explanation of this diagram, the OVSC is running on the Mininet VM at port of 653. You can see this is the back IP address, and then the port number is 6653. Switch 1 successfully connected to the controller, and then OVSC switch also have passive controller connection listening to 6654, port 6654. And then H1 can ping H2. The controller successfully manage S1 switch 1, allowing traffic between the hosts. So basically the controller managed to connect with the switch 1, and then it's allow connection between the hosts that link to the S1. And then we have remote controller. So the controller remote, we specify it as remote, and then the port number is 6633, and then this is the loopback IP address, and then the port number basically is unable to contact the remote controller because it's running on port of 6653. Then no controller service is running on listening port 6633. H1 and H2 are successfully created in the IP address, and S1 is successfully created as an open vSwitch switch. The network topology is created, but the switch is not connected to any active controller. Without connected controller, open flow based forwarding rules cannot be installed dynamically. And then this is a POX controller. So this command in here, pox.py forwarding hub, start the POX controller using the hub forwarding module. The controller is running and will be the switch behave like a hub. POX recommend Python 3.9 till 3.6 till 2.9, but it still can run on Python 3.5 as is mentioned. And then the POX controller started successfully and is ready to accept switch connection. The POX controller is running successfully with the forwarding hub module. Although Python version warning is shown, the controller is operational and ready to manage overflow such as one in Mininet. And then this is topology creating. by using the controller, and then the remote IP we using the loopback IP address. Start the remote controller and local machine, and then Mininet successfully find the ports controller on port 6633. Connected to remote controller. H1 H2 are created with IP address 10.0.0.1 and 10.0.0.2, and S1 is created as an open vSwitch controller. Same forwarding hub is running in POX. S1 behave like hub and forward traffic between hosts. So in short, the Mininet successfully connected to the S1 to the POX controller running on this IP address and then the port. And then for this, the controller started successfully. So this is the other side of terminal that so the POX controller with the hub forwarding module. So the controller starts successfully, and then it said warning because we're using the 3.5 Python, but the port still running. And then the switch S1 successfully connected to the POX controller, and POX install the hub like forwarding goes on the switch, and the switch connection to the controller terminated usually because Mininet was stopped. We started the switch is disconnected. So I think that's all for me for the lab 2.